Get in here, there'll be 3.
No. I thought it was real foods. Okay. Like my next app that I'm going to make, instead of the chamois app, is I'm going to make a hot chick app. You pull up to a Dunkin' Donuts, and the chick is hot there.
We are live at ICAST 2017. I'm with the legendary Pete Maina. Pete Maina is the man when it comes to muskie fishing. He's right here. There he is. There he is. And so, make this too big of a sales pitch, okay, for Livingston Lures.
But wait a minute, I thought we were.
Oh, we are. We will be doing that, but Pete and I go way back. I've been working with Pete for, gosh, I don't know. I mean, the first time we met was maybe in the early 2000s.
Yes.
Yeah, we were working for Bass Pro Shops. You know, I was a videographer. Now I'm a freelance videographer, but I've spent many hours in the boat with long hours in the boat with this guy, and I love him to death. He's a character, and the guy can flat out fish. And I mean, it's from sun up. Actually, no, you're not much of a morning guy.
I'm not big on the morning. I'm not really big on bright sun, which I call the ugly orb.
Exactly. Yeah, bright sun and Pete do not mix, because he has like a condition if he's out in the sun too long, because I guess one day you just were out, you know, you got cooked.
I did.
And then ever since that time, it's been bad for Pete. So he's got to be completely covered, but you know, he's managing, so he's still catching really big muskies. But the cool thing is that Pete has a line of lures out for Livingston Lures, and Livingston Lures is known for having a bass line using sound technology in their baits, but now, relatively new, they've added that to a muskie lineup of baits that have the sound technology in there. So tell us, go ahead and Pete, tell us about your line of baits.
Well, you know this, Greg knows this, because he's been with me for years, but I'm a weirdo. All muskie guys are weirdo. I'm a little worse than most. But we're into crazy stuff like sound, and I've been into sound for you well know, and I got kind of latched on to Livingston because of the sound idea in itself and the EBS technology. Every lure has its own little speaker and battery that makes fish sounds, and I know that makes a difference. I know fish are attracted to vibration. I know muskies chase props. Muskies are unique, top-of-the-line predator fish just in general. So I think sound is even more important with the top-of-the-line predator, but whatever. That's theorizing. The bottom line is what I did was work with Livingston. I'm taking this sound technology and putting it in big predator-type lures. We're working on jerk baits, topwater. We've actually been working on developing this for the last year or so. There's several lures out now. There's some new ones getting ready in September that I'm really excited about. And I'll be real honest, we've caught a bunch of fish on some of the models. Maybe my first and most exciting one for this spring is the Headhunter, which is like a hybrid combination bait, crankbait. We've done real well on so far. But I've really yet to test some of the topwater and some of the neutrally buoyant crankbaits with the idea that I have of actually having this sound technology for sure create strikes. In reality, I've caught a lot of fish on the baits, but I really don't know for sure. Did that strike happen because of that sound? Do we know it? We know it's got to be a good thing, probably not a bad thing, but did the strike happen? What I'm going to be messing around with that I'm really interested in seeing is, can I stop that surface lure or that neutrally buoyant crankbait in the middle of a tree when I see a muskie coming who have that propensity to follow, where I used to try and play keep away and race away and make them have that predator instinct, close the deal. Now I want to just let that lure sit there and suspend, whether it's bobbing on the surface or halfway down in the water column, and see if that fish will strike. It's going to be something different.
See if the sound is that extra something special that makes them commit.
When I could maybe at least at that point say, you know what, Greg, I think that happened for sure because of the sound there.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing that I've noticed too, and in the muskie world, you have all kinds of crazy baits. And there's a lot of, there's a lot of the baits that, to me, you know, the finishes and the realism of them kind of have a lot to be desired. And in these baits, I mean, I'm not trying to make this sound like a sales pitch here, but I'll show you just what we're dealing with. These baits, I'm going to switch the camera around. They are very, very good-looking finishes on them.
Yeah.
And you can see these are all. In fact, Pete, why don't you just kind of talk about some of them here? This bait in particular, this blue one here.
That is the headhunter that I'm talking about. The swim bait hybrid crankbait that's just
you can see it's
killer.
Yeah, it's got a thin. It's thin, like a swim bait, but it's got a bill. You know, and you can see the finish on it it's got an awesome finish on it.
Tremendous finish, and it's amazing action casting and trolling, and real easy to use. I got to admit, Greg, I'm getting a little bit older.
No.
This one, this one is awesome, easy to use, and not all that much work. Tremendous action, and of course that sound stuff was there as well. So.
And then you come over to this bait, and this lure here. In
Walking
the bass,
Boss One Magnum.
Yeah, in the bass world, a walking bait, walking the dog is huge, but this is a giant bait for muskies, walking the dog. And again, you can tell the finish, it looks fantastic. I'm really impressed. I don't know, I just see there's a lot of muskie baits out in the market that just don't have finishes like this. They're kind of, I don't know, subpar in a lot of respects, I feel like, but it's that Livingston has definitely upped the game here, I'd say.
Yeah, without a doubt.
And another really interesting design, and I think this is new for 2018, right, Pete? These
are new. We've been working on these for 6 months now. They've been perfected, approved, and they'll be available in September. Not quite available yet. This is the initial unveiling, but this is called the Dirty Dancer.
The Dirty Dancer, Patrick Swayze, man.
Yeah, absolutely. But tremendous action at slow speeds, tremendous vibration, and mainly I would say a trolling bait. The whole deal with this bait, I tell people, is this bait at 2.5 miles an hour looks like it's going 9. Wow. And it's buzzing out, action, vibrations, and obviously the extra sound, and just a tremendous trolling / casting bait.
And the deal with, and this is the same style of bait right here.
A little bit bigger model.
A little bit bigger, but if you can see, it's got a chain that's actually, how long is that chain, Pete, would you say? From the main body to the joint?
It's about an 8. You're going to give away the secret, aren't you?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say this.
There's a little bit to that long distance between the two different parts of the bait.
Yeah, it's a special deal going on with this bait, and that's a unique, very unique, and you control it quickly.
You control it quickly if you want, but the key is it gives it a better, wider come out of where it's main track line and back in. It's got a dangerous. You put it in the water, reel it about 10 feet, you'll understand. Yeah. It's really not fair. Frankly.
Yes, I like that. So, Pete, we'll come back to what's known in the business as a 2-shot. But so this is the new line of Livingston Muskie Lures. We got this on a selfie stick. This is very professional. I like it, honestly, Pete, I like it up here, because you can see less of my double chin when I shoot it like this, So, but Pete, Maina and I, we have been, you feel that? Yeah, isn't that nice? Yeah, so if I shoot it down here, I don't look so attractive anymore. Pete looks very attractive. I mean, look at this guy. He's always in shape. He does stretches in the morning. Am I allowed to say this?
Oh, sure,
yeah. Pete does yoga. Well, it's not yoga. It's not yoga. Do you do yoga?
Yeah.
What's that? It's your version of yoga?
I saw it on a movie.
Okay. It's a badass version of yoga is what Pete does. Right. But Pete, he's been doing the muskie deal for so many years that his back, and he's such a badass that his back needs constant exercises so he doesn't fall apart. But he's been, dude, like, how many years have you been guiding, and then you were a guide for a time?
I started this foolishness at the age of 11, actually guided
11 years old. Pete started muskie fishing, like hardcore.
Oh, hardcore, yeah. That was the guy. Yeah, I started before that, and then I stood on one leg and controlled the motor for hours and hours and hours on end for a long time. And my back got bad early in life. I had too much sun. That's why I got the UV thing and the UV problems. But I got a choice between wearing that UV mask and doing my Yoda in the morning.
Yes.
And all of this stuff, or not fishing. So
And
the choice is simple.
It's simple.
You do the Yoda. You wear the UV mask.
Yes. So I love this guy. He's one of the best characters in fishing. One of the real joys of my job is meeting gentlemen like this guy and developing a great friendship. So I won't get too mushy.
No.
But I'm very happy to see Pete at ICAST, and I guess we're gonna call this another fishing show live over. Are we good? Have we covered everything? I mean, we could cover more.
I think we're good. Yeah, but we don't want to bore people.
Exactly. I think we've reached the ideal length of time to just end this another fishing show live. So
people got to get up, go to the bathroom. I enjoy it. This is a great guy here. Great guy here.
One of my favorite people on planet Earth, Pete Maina. Good night, y'all.